So the fellas, they built up that advantage, and they never relinquished it. They're now 25-2 when they hold that lead after 6 innings. And today, that lead resulted in a Cubs W. You see this right here. Bingo, Seiya Suzuki. He had been on the absolute struggle bus with runners in scoring position, but with bases drunk, that one absolutely hammered to the tune of 400 feet. Mr. Feltner, temper, and then Alex Bregman. He decided to jump in on the long ball fun. That's his first pump since May 31st, and you know that deep sigh of relief was something they were all looking to tune into. A 9-3 W, a 6-run victory. That is how you do it. Even though they had 2 fewer hits, it's all about scoring as many runs as possible. Come on in to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. I'm Cole Wright, that's Ryan Sweeney, and let me tell you, this win right here, much needed and well-deserved, Sweeney.
Yeah, absolutely, and homers come in bunches, and hopefully this leads to more in the future here. I mean, getting guys that haven't been hitting well with runners on base, Seiya with the grand slam, and then Bregman there with the 2-run homer, both on breaking ball pitches that we know they've been seeing a lot of. So, I mean, I just feel like that's going to bring their confidence up here going into the San Francisco series. So, San Francisco, granted, being a tougher place to hit in, but still, being able to put the barrel on the baseball today is exactly what the Cubs needed and what they did.
Yeah, hard to believe this is the first time all season long that the Cubs have 3 home runs in one game. Hopefully, we're just on the cusp of seeing this happen a whole bunch more. Let's make life brighter. It's that moment of the day presented by Pella Windows and Doors, and we know how bad it's been for Seiya Suzuki as of late with frogs on the log, but right there, you see the bat flip. That is how you get your confidence back, Swing.
Well, yeah, and coming up in big situations is how you get your confidence back. It's good to see that Suzuki coming into that bat. I mean, he had a couple strikeouts on the day, but you got to put that behind you, know the situation. You see him here getting a hug from Nico Horner. It's like, we can breathe now.
Absolutely. Nico hugging Seiya after the grand slam. Such a lovely Cubs moment. Would you categorize this as a heartfelt moment when one dude on the team is struggling 1 through 9? It seems as if everyone's struggling.
Dude, absolutely. Man, you're with these guys for 162 games plus spring training. You hang out with them more than you hang out with your family. So you genuinely care how these guys are doing in the game. And it is an individual game to a certain aspect. You want to do well yourself. But when you see your teammate doing well and you know that guys are struggling, it's like I just did. It's like a sigh of relief going in there, knowing that a guy can come in a big situation and hit that grand slam like Seiya did.
Absolutely. In the top of the 4th, that's when we saw Seiya leave the yard, and there was a narrowed focus from all the cats that were in front of him, whether it was PCA, Bushy, or Happer. They all got the assignment, and they all answered the call.
Yeah, and PCA just setting the tone in the outfield with that catch. After he made that catch, it was like a switch got flipped, and then stealing the bases today. 4 stolen bags. I love how they were, this is PCA's number 15 right here, and we're just thankful that he's okay with that slide, how it worked out. But I just love the aggressiveness on the base pass today. Guys, look, when you're at Coors Field, you can tell. You just put the ball in play and good things happen. You get bloopers. There's so much ground out there. Hap does a good job right here, being able to take a couple pitches, getting to 2-0. Ultimately ended up taking a walk here to get the bases loaded with 1 out. So you go, he's in the 4-hole, you see. So then Seiya comes up, 0-0 count, able to come up here, 1-0 right here, gets a fastball up. That's 90 miles an hour. That might have been a changeup. I don't know. Nice piece of hitting right here.
Just the elevation lending to some balls that are supposed to break just a little bit, even if it's something with a little cut piece, it didn't cut or
well,
didn't
you
break.
can tell we didn't see it in the live feed, but Feltner throwing the rosin bag after that. I mean, you could tell that pitch did not do what he wanted it to.
Absolutely. You see Seiya Suzuki slowly but surely climbing his way up the list. The next man that he's looking to take down from the land of the rising sun, it's Ichiro Suzuki. We know his storied history, and then Godzilla, Hideki Matsui. He had 6 of them. To his credit, he certainly was a thorn in the side of all American League opposition during those New York Yankees heydays. Let's get to our insurance play of the game, presented by Insure on the Spot. We told you Alex Bregman hadn't gone bingo since May 31st, and this one right here, it looked as if that front foot and those hands, they were in complete lockstep swing.
Well, this had to feel good for him. You know, we've been talking about that slug. He's been getting his hits mixed in, but you see here, he was kind of fooled a little bit out front, but able to hit against that front side and keep that head down and drive it. You see PCA give him a little love.
Yeah, almost an Adrian Beltre home run. Almost down on bended knee. You see that? Most home runs, players born in New Mexico.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Ralph Kiner is from New Mexico.
Played with Cody Ross. I knew that.
There we go. Vern Stevens. Tell him, Vern. 247, and Alex Bregman hot on the heels. We will hopefully see him surpass maybe one, if not two of these dudes in the next few seasons. But in the meantime, right now, we're seeing number 3, Alex Bregman, catch up with Elise.
Alex, each day, couple days here, you've been telling me, I feel better, I feel better. That had to feel even better to hit it out. Well, how did it feel?
No, it felt great. Obviously, we haven't been playing well, so I thought it was a good day offensively for the group. Saya started off with a big swing there, the bases loaded, and it's a good step in the right direction offensively. I think a lot of guys are making adjustments, and today was a culmination of that.
As you've described, you guys needed a day like this, that swing from Saya. You could say you've needed that as well. Just how can that moment, this game, change things for you guys?
Well, I think a lot of guys are working on stuff that's going wrong. We haven't played well over the last month, so I think just every day showing up, getting after it, working at it, and we'll be where we need to be.
Something that you've been working on is getting that load in the right position. To summarize, kind of sinking the lower half with the upper half. Just describe the work you've been putting in. Because it's a lot. That's why you laugh.
Yeah, just trying to get the mechanics right. When the mechanics are right, I drive the baseball and swing at good pitches to hit. And still missed a few early in the game today that should have hit out of the ballpark, but step in the right direction this series.
Always a lot of work in a good way. Alex, thank you.
Yep, sounds good.
Well, the ability to tap into that power, that is exactly what the fellas needed, as Elise and Alex leaned into. 3 home runs, that ties a season high so far this year. And what was it that you saw from the guys that allowed them to just be casual, calm, and relax a little bit when they dug into the box?
Well, like he said, like Bregman just said, when I swing at good pitches and I get in the right position, I have a good result, and that's exactly what happened. You saw Saya in his first at-bat, kind of off balance, getting a steady dose of breaking balls. Here, just getting a pitch up that he can drive, and that's exactly what you're trying to do when you have bases loaded. You're trying to just drive something to the outfield, and the home run is a product of a good swing and a good approach that you're trying to drive the ball and just at least get a sac fly.
Sure.
And then you have Bregman right here getting that breaking ball out over the outer part of the plate. It just goes to show you he's so strong. That ball's down and away, and he's able to pull it to left field. He's always talked that his power and his slug comes to the pull side. So you see here, we saw him working in pregame. We saw him working yesterday, working on different loading mechanisms to kind of try to stay connected. And then it's good to see Carson Kelly, too. He's been getting his knocks. He's been hitting for average, but having the lefty come in here and getting his 3rd home run of the year, that had to feel good for him.
Yeah, first home run since April 18th. He's been a guy who has been one of those rocks of consistency. We've seen some pop from him early on in the campaign. It's waned a little bit, but for him to start to heat up as the mercury begins to rise, that is a good look. And you see the spray chart right here.
Almost all in the same spot.
Yeah, that one from Carson.
Kelly's like, I got you guys.
Absolutely hammered. A long drive hole, no sweat. Let's break this thing out real quick. And once again, like we said, just to see the fellas be able to tap into some of that power. Saya grand slam, Bregman homer with runners in scoring position. We added insurance run. This is so healing.
It is,
absolutely.
Isn't it?
It's like that calm before the storm, and the storm that's getting ready to take shape.
Yeah, a little bit.
Could be by the Bay Area as the fellas get ready to rip loose against those San Francisco Giants.
This just this makes the plane flight over to San Francisco just a little bit better, right? I mean, you don't want to ever get swept in a series, but when you kind of salvage the series, you go out, you put together momentum. You lost the first 2 games, the last one being via a walk-off, and then you go out and make a statement tonight, winning 9-3. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, it's good news that the Cubs did reserve that team charter, because the fellas, they were going to have to walk to San Francisco from Colorado had they got swept by the worst team in all Major League Baseball. And it's like this man right here is related to Miss Cleo. He saw this coming right around the corner. He told us on Cubs Live. Listen up.
Yeah, you got walked off last night. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know if it's a coach, I don't know if it's a player, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like somebody needs to get thrown out of this game today. I think there needs to be some energy and get some guys going.
And Craig, was he watching the show?
Yeah,
Hold on a second. We're going to inject that energy. There it is.
Hey, somebody had to be the sacrificial lamb to get this team going. And Craig was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to step up for this team. And, I mean, granted, this was a terrible call. It was a foul ball off of Ballesteros'
should have been reviewed.
Leg, and it ended up being a double play. And the Cubs did have the lead at this point, but this was a big turning point in the game where it's now you have nobody on base instead of a foul ball. But, yeah, I said it in the pregame, like, somebody needs to get thrown out of this game to get some energy going, to get some guys rolling, and it just, It just manifested.
Absolutely. And for Craig, it's like he was out there and he's like, you know what? I'm not leaving until they actually get me up close and personal.
It was a weak toss too. It was like,
but you saw the emphasis with Craig and his speaking tone. It just ratcheted up with every single word. And at the end, well, that was as good as it gets. And so was the offense today, a 9-run output. And Craig, he loved seeing that from the clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got some. We got a couple big hits today. Obviously, a grand slam is a huge one. So, you need hits in those situations. That's how this game works. And we got a couple today and we just did a good. I think we did a good job offensively today.
Do you believe a game like this, when you start, seeing good at bats and the slug in there, that you can start feeding off of this?
Yeah, I mean. You got to play good every day. So today doesn't promise you tomorrow. That's how this works. You have to be consistent every single day. Like I said, the game, I think Seiya needs that swing, right? I think Alex needs that swing. So those are good signs.
I was going to say to see Alex take one out.
Yeah. I mean, he needs it. He needs some reinforcement and some reinforcement for his work, like producing results, and it did today.
What did you see from Cabrera today?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. I thought his pitch mix was really good today, and varied enough to keep the hitters off balance a little bit. So this is obviously a tough place to pitch, and he was really effective today, and it was a good bounce back to give him some confidence moving forward.
You've talked about how guys giving home runs not necessarily the worst thing if there's no guys on base. I mean, it shows that even though he does that today, some of the fewest runs he's given up in a start in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to give up runs. How you give them up, different for everybody. The home run pitches were couple mistakes, couple fastballs to me, just kind of middle fastballs that they did a nice job with. But he had some situations where I thought he lost it a little bit, just very little bit, maybe 5-6 pitches, and then came back and made some really good pitches, and that's part of pitching, and that's part of having a good start.
What was the explanation on the Moises double play there?
Yeah, I mean, look, when umpires cost you 2 outs, that's a big deal. That's an inning. That's an inning over. They didn't see it. And I don't think you ever really see some of those plays, like a hit by pitch. You don't necessarily see it, but when the player reaction on the field, every player's reaction on the field is kind of very obvious. That's what they go on in those situations. And I thought player reaction on the field was very obvious. And I was shocked when they got together that they didn't think it was.
That's obviously something they can't go to New York for.
There's no review there.
He obviously stayed in the game, but how's Pete after that slide in the second base?
All good.
Yeah. And Michael after getting
on the game? I don't know on Michael. We'll have to check on him, yeah.
Cost you 2 outs. That should lead to an 8th ejection as the Cubs skipper, and that's exactly what it did. Second time this year, Craig has gotten banged in a ball game, but nevertheless, the fellas, they win by a 6th spot. The series finale has them boarding the plane, smiling. We'll show you how it all unfolded. That's next. Keep it locked. This is Cubs Postgame Live.